Coco, chair's so freaking black I almost didn't see you. Yeah, so I bought a Secretlab 2022 Titan Evo XL Softweave Plus Black to the third power edition chair. It's a mouthful right there. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, EXTERMICIDE here, and today I just want to have a little discussion with you about the new 2022 line of the Secretlab chairs, one of which I just purchased myself. And just a little disclaimer here, I am not sponsored by Secretlab in any way, shape, or form. They have no idea what I am about to say here. My viewpoints are my own, and that's the way I like it. So I think the best way to do this is for me to tell you a little bit about myself. And that way you have a little bit of information, a little bit of a perspective. Maybe you can relate to some of the things I'm going to say, and that way it will help you make your decision better or easier. So I am over 50 years old. I am 5'10". I weigh 230 pounds. I have done manual labor almost my entire life, putting a lot of strain and abuse on my body. And when I'm not working, I am Twitch and YouTube streaming. I play a lot of games, and I do a lot of video editing. I spend a lot of time in front of my computer doing a lot of video editing. So yeah, I spend a lot of time in front of my computer sitting in a chair. So because I spend so much time sitting in my chair in front of my computer, it was important for me to always have a chair that was very comfortable. And my chair of choice was those $200, $300 executive leather chairs from Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, those kind of places. A chair that when I sat in just felt cushiony. It just cradled my body in cushiness and comfort. And that's what I used for like the last 20 years. A lot of people associate comfort with the softness of a chair. As time went by, I'm using this comfortable chair that allowed me to just curl up on my freaking side, cross my legs, and just sit in awkward positions that were comfortable for me. And I did this for years, like I said, over 20 years, sitting in those kind of chairs. Eventually, my back started to hurt. My shoulders started to hurt. My neck started to hurt. And when you start receiving those pains at my age, you just kind of chalk it up that, hey, you're getting older. Things are going to start hurting. So I went to the doctor. They did x-rays, and it turned out that I had scoliosis, which is the curvature of your spine. And for me, this was contributed to the fact that I had been sitting in chairs that were not giving me good posture for 20 plus years. In other words, me not sitting properly had finally taken its toll. It caught up with me. And now I'm at a point where it was hurting to be sitting like that. So yes, I could go to Office Depot and sit in one of those luxurious office chairs right now and actually feel very comfortable while I'm sitting in it. But I'm not doing my back, my shoulders, my neck. I'm not doing my body any favors by doing so. So yeah, obviously changes need to be made, and I started to shop around for ergonomic chairs. And everybody kept saying, oh, you need to check out the Herman Miller friggin' chairs. So I went to their website and I pulled up the chair that everybody's saying, yeah, you need to check out this chair. And I was like, what? What? Yeah, I am not spending that much money for a chair, especially one that looks like that. Those chairs are made for people in an office to keep them in a certain upright posture so that they will get their work done and not get too comfortable where they start to relax and fall asleep at work. That is the purpose of those chairs, to keep everybody in an upright position at their desk and being able to freaking work. And yes, I'm sure they help with the spine and all that, but sitting in any chair for 8 or more freaking hours a day is going to take its toll on you. You need to get up and you need to walk around. You need to just space things out. You need to get the blood circulating in your body. This is with any chair. So I started to look around for alternatives because I wasn't going to pay that much for a chair. And while doing so, one chair kept freaking popping up, and that was the Secretlabs was just kept popping up. And every time it popped up, I could hear what my friends would tell me.
Don't buy a gaming chair.
I would hear that over and over and over again in my head.
Don't buy a gaming chair.
So, truthfully, that statement, for the most part, is correct. If you go on Amazon, there's hundreds and hundreds of gaming chairs for you to choose from. All different looks, all different prices. Interestingly enough, all these chairs, or at least a freaking good majority of them, are all made from the same factories in China, and they're purchased from the same warehouse. And the only difference between the chairs is that the company that buys the chairs ends up putting their own skin, their own logos, their own look to the chair. And then they give the chair whatever price they see fit and a new name to make it their own. So 99% of those chairs that you see that are gaming chairs on Amazon, they're all exactly the same, and they're made for pennies on the dollar. They are not going to do your body any kind of favors whatsoever. So I kept doing my search, and I kept looking and looking and looking, and again, what kept coming up was the Secretlab chairs. So I started to do my research on Secretlab chairs, and luckily I do have a friend of mine who does work in the chairing industry as far as recommending proper chairs to people for their spines and stuff. This is actually his job, and he was one of the first ones to tell me not to get a gaming chair. But I showed him the Secretlabs chair, and he took a look at it, and he read the descriptions, and he watched the videos too and everything. And he said, you know what? If you're going to get this kind of chair, or you want to save the money and you want to get a chair for this kind of price range, then this is the one to get. So of all the gaming chairs and everything, he's like, the Secretlab chairs are the ones to get. And a lot of that had to do with the materials used in the chair, how they go about doing the lumbar support, and the adjustments that they put on the chair. It shows that they went a step beyond to put more into the chair than what the generic gaming chairs on Amazon give you. So we discussed it, and we looked at our options and everything, and then I eventually decided, okay, I am going to go ahead and I am going to order a Secretlab chair. Now, keep in mind, the reason I wanted to do this video was to share my experience going through this whole process. And if you're anything like me at all, you're obviously here looking at this video because you're in the market for a new chair. And you're probably looking at the Secretlab chair. And you're probably doing exactly what I did. You're looking at YouTube videos, one after another, and it just totally blew my mind how many positive reviews I kept seeing concerning this particular company and this chair. It seems like every 20 positive videos I saw, there may have been one that gave the chair a negative view, and I'll get into that later. But I wanted to make it clear as to why I eventually ended up choosing this chair. I wanted to give you my case history as far as health problems go, age, everything else, and what led me to this point of actually pulling the trigger after doing tons and tons of research. So let's go order that chair. So the first thing I did when I went to their website was to go straight to the sizing comparison chart. And when buying any chair, this is the first step you want to do. You want to make sure that you're going to order the right size chair for your body. Everybody is built differently. And I've seen way too many reviews on YouTube of people complaining about the chair. And when they state their height and weight, I realize, dude, you ordered the wrong size chair for your particular body. So no wonder it's not working out good for you. So put my numbers right back up on the screen there. And like I said, I fall 5'10", and 5'10" for me falls under a regular size chair. That's what's recommended for me. However, my weight is 230, and for that, I would fall under an extra large chair. So here's my suggestion. If you find yourself in that kind of a situation, always go with the weight limit. Go with the greater weight limit. So for, in my case, 230, go with the extra large. The reason being is that is a chair that's built to support a lot more weight. And even if it's much more weight compared to what you actually weigh, then it's just a more solid chair and it's going to last you longer. The other consideration is the height. And like I said, it's showing that I should fall under a regular chair. However, I'm right there at that cusp, you know, and 5'11" is what they're suggesting for the extra large chair. So regardless, if it was recommending the regular chair for me, and this is for me personally, I would have still gone up to the extra large chair, even if I was slimmer and my weight was down considerably. I would have still gone with the extra large chair because in doing so, I'm gaining an extra inch and a half on the sides. I don't have the shoulders hugging me as tight. I have a little bit more freedom to move. So if you're like right there at that cusp and you are that type of person who likes to be hugged and everything, then go with their recommendation. However, if you like to have a little bit more freedom to move around and just, you know, not feel so constrained, then go one size up. But with my weight, my height, I went with the extra large because this is going to put me in a situation where I'm going to be able to just cross my legs if I want to. I'm going to be able to sit Indian style in my chair if I want to. I'm going to have a lot more freedom to move around a bit more when I'm relaxing. Granted, when you're working and everything, you want to make sure you are sitting up straight in the chair and that you have the back supporting you and everything. If I'm chilling and I'm watching a movie or something, yeah, I want to be able to not feel so confined. I want a little bit more wiggle room and everything. So yeah, after checking out the size comparison chart, I decided, yeah, extra large, that's going to be the size for me. So next I went to where the 2022 catalog for the chairs was located because I want to have the newest and bestest version of the chair. And I get confronted with the little configuration tool here. So step one, I have to choose my size. And I already chose my size, so I'm going to choose extra large for me personally. And then step two is to choose your upholstery. Now there's three different upholsteries. You got your Neo Hybrid Leatherette, which is a PU leather. You get your Softweave Plus fabric, which is a fabric version of the chair. And then you have the Napa leather, which is a real leather, and it almost doubles the price of the chair in itself. It'll bring a $500 chair up to $1,000 very easily. That option was not available when I ordered, but I wasn't going to spend that much money anyway. $1,000 for a gaming chair, I think, is a little too much. So the choices now are between the Hybrid Leatherette and the Softweave Plus. So let's talk about each. First, the Secretlab Hybrid Leatherette. That's a PU leather, like I said before. Now, the pros with a PU leather is that if you spill anything on the chair, it's as simple as wiping it down and wiping up your spill, and you're good to go. The cons about having a PU leather chair, however, are that if it's hot in your house, if it's hot in your room, if there's any kind of heat going on and everything, you're going to sweat in that chair. It's going to stick to you because of that leather. And the other con with it is that PU leather on average has a 5-year lifespan. And this is any PU leather chair, not just Secretlab. This is Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, any other chairing company. If it's PU leather, that PU leather will probably last you around approximately 5 years. It can last longer if you really, really take care of it. And I'll get into that in just one second. So what happens is over time, the oils from your skin and the sweat from your body will start to get on the chair. And that salt from the sweat will start eating up the leather very slowly. The oils from your skin will start eating up the leather very slowly. So unless you get into a habit of every time you've used your chair, and then when you get up to immediately take a cloth and wipe the chair down and everything, if you do that, your chair can last a couple more years. However, what's probably going to happen for most people is on year 5, and you can almost set your watch to it, straps of leather are just going to start peeling off the chair. It's going to start just falling on the freaking floor. It's going to happen fast, and it's going to happen out of nowhere. And at that point in time, there's really nothing you can do except for, either order a new chair or replace the seating and the backing. So the other fabric option we have is the Softweave Plus. Now, the pros with the Softweave Plus is, of course, it's material, it's cloth. It's going to keep you cooler. You're not going to sweat in it as much. So that's a good thing. However, it's cloth, and underneath that cloth is cushion. So if you eat or drink at your desk, and if you spill anything, with the hybrid leather, you just wiped it up. With Softweave Plus, it's going to soak in. It's going to soak into the fabric. It's going to soak into the foam beneath the fabric. So you have to keep these in mind and decide, what kind of person you are, how clean you are, how much effort do you want to put into maintaining your chair and everything. I live in Florida, so for me, it was a no-brainer. My room can get kind of warm because of my computer, my video card, the lighting from when I'm streaming. Just my PC alone can warm up this room. But on top of all that, I live in Florida, so it's naturally warm here. And again, if you live in a cooler place, like a cooler state up north, if you are gaming or playing in a place that always has AC to the point of almost being cool and you're never going to sweat and everything, the hybrid leather might be your ticket. So, you know what would be a better buy for you as far as going to be able to last. So just be smart in your purchase. The next thing I had to do was actually choose what color of fabric I want. And that's step 3. And they had, for the Softweave Plus, many different colors. They all look really freaking good, but they're all kind of like pastel colors. Unless you go with like a special edition, and at this time they only had the Minecraft for the 2022 chairs, so not really interested in that. But I looked at all the colors, and the Arctic white looks really freaking sharp. The cookies and cream to me looks pretty freaking good. However, I ultimately decided I'm going to go with the black. And the reason being is, again, if I spill anything on the chair, I know that it's going to soak into the material. I know it's going to just stain the chair. However, if the chair is black, well, the chair is going to be a lot more forgiving, and it's going to be easier to clean up. And even if I can't get it all up, it's going to be hard to tell because it's a black chair. So that was my thought process when ordering the chair. And then step 4 allows you to add on some accessory items. And step 5 allows you to buy some cleaning items, which isn't a bad idea. Just, really think about it. I know the cleaning, the Secretlab Premium Fabric Cleaner is $30, but you're spending over $500 on a chair anyway. So $30 is not a whole lot of money to take care of your $500 purchase. But, you know, I'm not saying that you have to freaking buy it. It's just, you know, they're giving you options right there. And if you think you can keep the chair cleaner yourself through other means, by all means. So yeah, that's what I selected for my chair. And then I went ahead and I placed my freaking order. So one suggestion I would really make is, while paying for your chair, if you have the ability to use PayPal, use it. I've read the occasional horror stories of people not receiving their product or people receiving it damaged. And to send this chair back, according to Secretlab's terms, you are responsible for the shipping costs to send it back. There's no restocking fee or anything like that, as long as everything is in its original box and everything. But you have to pay to send it back. And this is a very heavy chair, and you don't want to pay those shipping costs. So by using PayPal, if you have any issues with the Secretlab customer service not helping you out, not being good people, you always have PayPal to have your back, you know, and to charge them back if they're being unreasonable. So just a suggestion, yeah, use PayPal if you have it. So after I placed the order, a couple minutes later, I received a confirmation email. And a couple hours after that, I actually received a tracking number. And later that evening, my chair was leaving the Secretlab headquarters in Tennessee and heading on a FedEx plane to Orlando. And I was really freaking surprised that 2 days later, FedEx pulled up to my house with the chair. It took 2 days after I placed the order for the chair to get here. It was really freaking quick. I was really surprised. So I actually had to have my wife help me get the chair into the house, into my room here. Again, my back is a little bit bad, so maybe somebody else with who's in really good health won't need any help. But this is a very, very big box. It's a very, very heavy chair. I can't overemphasize how heavy this box is and how big it is. So there's the measurements on the screen. Take it for what it's worth. But yeah, really, really big freaking box. I was really freaking surprised how big this box was. So I already know that this video is going to be kind of on the long side, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time with the whole unboxing and putting together and everything, but there are a few things I do want to touch bases on, just so, again, you have my viewpoints of the process. But if you do want to see a complete unboxing in all its glory and the putting together of the chair and everything, there's plenty of videos on YouTube to give you that piece of eye candy. So my experience is when I opened the box, I was immediately taken back by the attention to detail that Secretlab put into the packaging of this product. Every little item in the box was individually packaged. The armrests were in their own little boxes. The parts were in their own little boxes. The wheels were in their own little boxes. And then the bigger parts, like the seat cushion and the backrest and everything, were individually wrapped in a thick plastic for protection. Honestly, it felt like Christmas morning opening up this box. It was like everything was just a very pleasant experience to see how well it was packaged. I have never in my life unboxed a chair and had this feeling of excitement while doing so. And putting the chair together was actually, for lack of a better way of putting it, was fun. Something that I really wasn't expecting. But the process was really easy. They gave clear and concise instructions, although huge on that big card. And I noticed that while I was putting everything together, each piece just had a feel of quality to it. I was most impressed with the actual base of the chair being this full metal legs that just radiated an impression of sturdiness that you knew damn well that if you lean back in this chair, you're not going to have an issue with it flipping back on you and you landing on the floor. So overall, my unboxing and my putting together the chair was a really shocking and fun experience. That's about all I can say about that whole process. So with the chair finally put together, it was time to finally sit in it and get my initial very first impressions about the chair. Buying a chair from anywhere is tough. It really is. Unless you can go into an actual showroom and sit in it, you really don't know what to expect. Every chair is different and every person is different. And what's a good chair for one person may not be a good chair for someone else. So when you are relying on reviews like this and not being able to have that opportunity to actually sit in the chair before your purchase, it's hard. So one of the concerns with this chair that a lot of people have voiced is the seat is very firm and the back is pretty firm also. And I can definitely say, yeah, they're on the firm side. But then again, I am coming from a very cushiony leather chair, very soft. That's what my body has been used to. So sitting on something that's actually firm now may seem a little more on the hard side to me. But there is a cushion there. You know, it's not like my tailbone is banging into something so hard that it's causing me pain. It's just much more firmer than what I was expecting. So when I sat in the chair, I'll be honest, my immediate first impression was, wow, did I just make a $500 mistake? And I contacted my friend, the one who deals with chairs, and told him how I was feeling. And he explained to me, look, you need to give your body a little bit of time to adjust to the chair. There are people out there who say you have to give the chair time to conform to your body. That's not correct. The chair isn't going to conform to anything. It's built to be a certain way. And that's with any chair. But your body, when sitting in something that it hasn't sat in before, needs to adjust to what it's sitting in. And again, going back to what I normally sat in, these big plushy chairs that didn't keep me upright and everything, to sit in something that was actually keeping my spine straighter and causing me to sit up straighter and having a firmer seat and everything was something that my body wasn't used to. So yeah, there were initial concerns there that I made a bad purchase. But as I used the chair for a while, I noticed that over time, little complaints that I had about my comfort were disappearing. I was starting not to notice those little complaints when I sat in the chair. And then I started to notice something really fascinating. Those pains in my neck, those pains in my shoulder were all but gone. They were not completely gone, but they were just about almost gone. They were disappearing. And I was like, wow, what a freaking difference. I'm actually able to lift my arm higher than I have been for a while because of the shoulder pain. I'm actually able to turn over in bed and lay on my other side because now my neck isn't hurting like it was before. I could definitely tell that the longer I was using the chair, my body was conforming to it. And if you are not willing to allow your body to have that chance to get used to the chair, then it's going to be a fail for you. It's as simple as that. It's going to be a fail for you. After about a couple of weeks, I was starting to really feel good. And at this point, I was starting to feel that, okay, I don't have that anxiety anymore of thinking that I made a bad purchase. At this point, my body is actually showing improvement and I'm feeling better. And yeah, to me, this is a win. I have less pain. To me, it's a win. So at this point, I'm like, okay, this chair's working out for me. So I couldn't be happier about the fact that my friend was absolutely correct concerning the fact that I needed to give my body time to get used to the chair. So let's start with one of the things that I like the most about the chair, and that easily would have to be this little guy here, this Secretlab's foam, memory foam pillow. This thing is so freaking soft. It's just, oh my God, it's just unfreaking believable how soft this is. Now, for me, this has been a very great blessing. There's been people who have actually complained about this pillow. They agree with me. They agree with me the aspect that it's very soft and it feels good and everything. But where the complaint lies is with the whole magnet part of it. And them saying that it's not situated back there in the proper spot for their head. Now, again, I stated earlier that most of the complaints that I saw online of people complaining about certain things, these are people who were complaining about stuff that could have easily been fixed if they had the right size chair. This is no different. When I see people complaining about this pillow, one of the complaints is they can't get the pillow situated to an area that supports their head correctly. And although even Secretlabs, even though they call this a head pillow, this is not a head pillow. If you notice the shape here, okay, it's curved. This is a neck pillow. Its sole purpose is to support your neck, which in turn supports your head. And to find the proper spot for it is when you're sitting straight in your chair, put it behind your neck, then sit back. Okay? At this point, the pillow will be stuck and it will be in the right spot to support your head. This is the purpose of this particular pillow, to support your head by supporting your neck. Those of you who sitting there trying to move it up higher so it's supporting the actual back of your head and everything, and finding out, oh, I can't find a freaking place to stick it to. There's no more metal up here in the chair for it to stick to. You're doing it wrong, okay? And if you're doing it right and you're still having issues, then possibly you probably have the wrong size chair and you don't have a chair that's tall enough for your particular body. It really irks me and aggravates me when people complain about stuff because they made a mistake on their end. And you guys need to own up to it. If you got the wrong size chair, don't badmouth the chair. It was on you during the ordering process to order what was correct for your body. One of the complaints also is they're saying that the magnet is not strong enough. The pillow itself, you can feel it inside the back here. This is where the magnet is located. Okay. This is a freaking strong magnet, and it's a strong magnet. However, there's going to be a difference between sticking this to metal that's behind material and sticking this to material to metal that's behind leather. Leather is actually thicker. It's going to be a little bit more harder for the magnet to get back there. So one of the gripes that people have is that if they get out of their chair, if they lean back real hard and everything, the pillow bounces free. Okay, I've only seen this complaint on people who have the leather version of the chair. The magnet is just not quite strong enough on the leather version of the chairs. It's a strong magnet. It just needs, the chair itself just needs more metal back there for the magnet to grab a hold of. So keep that in mind if ordering a leather chair, that, you know, the pillow is going to work. It's going to work better if you have it in the proper position. But just remember, you got a leather chair, and that's going to be one of the little downfalls, that the magnet is just not going to be as strong as if you got the Softweave fabric. The last complaint that I have about the pillow is this pillow has no zipper. There's no way to open this. It's not like you can take this case off and throw it in the washing machine and clean it. So I sent an email to Secretlab asking, how do you clean this? And of course, I got the generic reply back saying, well, we suggest that you purchase our Softweave cleaning formula to wipe the pillow down. And yeah, you don't want to put this in the washing machine. Again, there's the magnet in there, which actually feels very like thin, almost like a cardboard inlay that's in there. So I don't know if water is going to mess with that. However, this is a memory foam, and if you've ever gotten a memory foam pillow completely saturated before, a memory foam pillow holds on to the water. It gets in every little pore of the pillow, and no matter how much you squish the water out, it will still take days upon days, possibly weeks, for the pillow to completely dry out. So completely saturating this in water is not something I would suggest. To clean this, if you're not going the Secretlab route of buying their formula, I would suggest some water and some light dish soap, highly diluted. Use a microfiber cloth, saturate that, wring it out completely, and then just kind of damp dry the entire pillow to get that a freshness smell to it from the liquid, and then let it completely dry, but don't completely saturate the pillow. And one thing you don't ever want to do too is get it extremely wet and then wring it out or anything. You don't want to twist this pillow at all. It's a memory foam pillow. Twisting it will damage the pillow inside. It will start to crack, and it'll start to rip, and it'll start to tear. And even though you're not seeing it from this end, it will be damaged on the inside. So no twisting, no wringing of the freaking pillow. You can squish it. Okay? You can squeeze it. Okay? It's a nice little comfort pillow too. Just, if you're sad about something, oh, we just lost that big game, just to hold it and everything. It's don't worry, baby, I love you. That'd be my one complaint about the freaking pillow on a personal level, is I really wish that they had included a zipper on it to allow you to clean the outer covering of it. My only other complaint with the chair would be with the armrest. And there is a wobble to these armrests. And Secretlab has stated that this is by design because the armrests go forward and backwards and outwards and in and out and up and down, because there's so much movement to these armrests that they needed to allow for a certain amount of play with the armrests. And that makes sense. Even if I'm going to look into it to see if there's a way to maybe tighten them up a little bit, and I'll make a video about that if I actually figure it out. However, I'm pretty certain that no matter what I do, there still has to be a certain amount of play with these armrests. Yeah, it's the one part of the chair that the wobble just feels like it should, for a chair that costs this much, it just feels like that wobble shouldn't be there. It's the one part of the chair to me that actually feels kind of cheap. And it's not. If I look at the materials, we're looking at quality materials here and everything. They're strong, and that's one thing I can say. 230 pounds, and I can really put all my weight on these freaking arms, and I can just really freaking go to town and abuse them and everything, and they laugh at me. There's strength there with the arms, so I'm okay with that. I stated earlier that the base was fully made of steel, and I mean it's a heavy freaking beast, and I like that. I'm glad that it's not like all the Amazon racing chairs that had, that have the plastic base. No plastic here, full freaking metal, just quality, just strength. Just a beast of a freaking chair. The one thing that I would like to see them do on this particular chair is to replace the wheels. These wheels ain't bad. They're okay. And I'm actually on throw rugs and they work very well and everything. However, for this price range and everything, I would like to see them add more of the rollerblade type single casters, and I just think those are a much better wheel quality than the plastic wheels that do come with this. However, as far as plastic wheels go, these are kind of leaning towards the better side of plastic wheels. The other thing would be to bring up is that I absolutely love is the actual material. The Softweave. I am so happy with the Softweave. Now, soft is a term that I think I like to see him call it something else, but yeah, I'm not going to call this soft. It's not bad, okay? But what I would say this feels like is if you go to the Gap and you buy a brand new pair of Levi jeans, okay, not a pre-washed pair, but a brand new freaking pair that have not been washed, have not ever experienced downy added to them. That's what the material feels like, brand new denim. So it's got a strength feel to it, which is soft in a way. It's really hard to describe it if you're not actually touching it yourself, but I would say the closest thing would be non-pre-washed denim is what it feels like. But it feels like it would last, that it can actually take a lot of freaking abuse, and it feels good. The other thing that I really liked about the particular material is the color that I chose. Now I chose the black 3, and upon closer inspection, it's not a solid black. What it is there's these white little speckles in the material that just adds to the highlight and everything. It doesn't pick up well on camera. So again, my first thoughts were, in ordering this particular color was to keep any imperfections, any dirt or spills or anything that I accidentally do to the chair, to keep the chair looking new. And yeah, I think I made a really good choice in that aspect with choosing this color. And I want this chair to last over 5 years. I want to see it last at least 7 to 10. And at this point, I really don't see that being an actual problem with the chair. Everyone spends a lot of money on their PC setup, and gamers and streamers especially. We put a lot of money into our monitors and our graphic cards, our memory, our webcams, our freaking mixers, our stream decks, our microphones, and the one part of your computer setup that everybody ignores is your chair. And it's probably the single most used item of your entire setup. You're going to be using it every single waking moment when you're at your computer. You're going to be using it every day. So if you're willing to put all the money into a great setup and everything, sink a little bit of money into a good chair, a good investment for your body. And so far for me, the Secretlab chair is just has exceeded my expectations, and that's about all I can say about that, guys. So again, like, comment, subscribe, and love y'all. And I'm going to try to follow this video up with others down the road. Like I said, I'm going to see what I can do about tightening up the armrest. There's a couple other little things that I'm going to play around with, and so I'll touch base on this chair again maybe in a year's time too, also, to see how it's held up and everything. But yeah, things are looking promising, and I'm actually I'm actually pleasantly freaking happy at this freaking state. So cheers, guys, and I will catch you later.